Starfleet Academy has been cancelled. The show failed to bring in enough viewers each week.
It's showtime.
I don't know if this is really true. This is the real reason they say no, it failed to bring in enough viewers each week.
Halfway.
I find it odd and a little strange though, because the channels I was watching on YouTube that was reviewing the show, the viewers was very high. Each channel had high viewers, very, 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 very high viewers. And I was so tempted to do my own watch along for the whole series. I only did episode 1 and I thought, nah. no, after Star Wars Acolyte on Disney Plus, no.
But why?
I learned my lesson with that show. I actually hoped that show would get better from the middle towards the end, and there were maybe 1 or 2 episodes that were okay, but the entire series, atrocious, absolutely atrocious. I don't know how you just jump into a franchise of a thing and you don't respect the foundation and add to it or beef it up, or you don't fine tune certain things that didn't make sense, in the early days, and you just add more lore, instead it was just complete rubbish.
You ain't lying.
So I was in 2 minds with doing my own reaction for this show. I thought, let me just try episode 1 first and let me see if I can manage or stomach the annoyance, and also to see how bad it was. Like, everyone's saying it's so bad. I'm like, how bad can it really be? Episode 1 shut it down for me. I was like, yeah, no siree bop. I ain't trying 2, 3, or 4. You must be crazy. And I'm gonna put that on my Patreon soon for everyone to watch. That wasn't a fun experience. I mean, I was like, I can see why people are crapping on this show. And I thought, okay, maybe it's the first 2, 3 episodes maybe of a new show can be a little shaky or wavy. Let it breathe a little bit. Give it time, give it some space, and let it grow. Nada. I mean, I watched, I think, 2 more episodes. I didn't do a reaction to those other 2 episodes. But on the 3rd episode, I was like, yep, I'm not your target audience, and that's okay. That's okay. I did watch other people react to it though. Even the finale. No, I think I stopped watching other people's reactions around episode 6. That's where I thought, nah, there's no point me watching everyone else's reaction when I know and feel the show isn't for me. I can see why people don't like it for sure. It wasn't a fad or a trend to crap on the new Star Trek show. Nope. I watched episode 1 to 3. And I watched other people's breakdowns of each episode just to see how bad it was. And I stopped at episode 6, meaning watching the other people's reactions or reviews to it. Yeah, never again. And I don't mind watching a show to see how bad it is. And sometimes I might be in the mood to do my own reaction to a show, but nah. I have limits, man. I don't want to say I have standards. I have limits. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be irritating my mind space just because I want to be part of this stream or this trend or whatever. No. I mean, if I want to do a critique about it, say, oh, if you guys have done this instead of this, then yeah, for sure, I might give it a shot. If I see where the errors are and adjust them or tweak them and do my own rendition, or like if I was do like a script doctor, edit the script or edit the story or edit the format, then maybe. But in terms of doing a whole full series, like it's like saying they're gonna drop a show like the Star Wars Acolyte, and I know it's going to be bad, and I willingly go into it, and I'm surprised at how bad it is, and I'm getting upset for no reason, reminding myself that this is bad, and I'm doing a reaction for Patreon or YouTube. No siree bob. We are not doing that whatsoever. I don't want to sound like I'm being cruel to the stars involved, actors and actresses, because for a show being cancelled, I think it's mid-season 2 they cancelled it. That means everyone involved would have lost their streams of income from this show. Makeup artists, costume designers, set designers, writers, everyone involved, actors, everybody involved. They've now lost some streams of income from this show. So I don't want it to look like I'm celebrating the loss of funds by this show being cancelled. But this franchise is important to a lot of people. If you insult the viewers, if you insult the fan base, I'm not saying there aren't wicked people, cruel people, putrid people in all the fan bases that exist. But if you insult the larger audience that come to watch your thing, then they will retaliate. So if you're going to do something, do it with heart, soul, joy, respect of your audience, full respect, not half, full respect, and they will support you. Do not insult the intelligence of your audience. Don't hand wave things or decisions you've made like, oh, forget about that thing. You don't want someone picking at your show when it's the first time you've launched the show, especially when you're inside a franchise that you didn't create. You're piggybacking off things that someone else took time to fashion from the cosmos, from thin air, and made it a thing that a lot of people have come to love and appreciate. And then you come into that space and you're tweaking things here and there. You're like, yeah, why not this? Why not that? You didn't create those things. You're tweaking and fine-tuning things, and not necessarily with permission. You're just like, yeah, in my world, I think it should be this. You're tweaking a thing other people took time to create from nothingness into something, and it's become a respected thing, an honored thing, a beloved thing. And people have drawn similarities from those things into their lives. People who were sad are now happy, or people who were depressed watch Star Trek and they've changed, they've grown, they've transformed, they've passed on that feeling and experience to their children and grandchildren. And you stepped into that reality, that realm, and didn't honor the audience, the fan base, the larger audience, the people where you're saying, this is the story, this is this, and you're insulting intelligences of people, like basic level of intelligence. You're saying, this is what I want. Anyway, whatever. I'm done with this one. Let me skip on to the next one. Keith David to play Doc Connors in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, it'd be cool if he was. It'd be so freaking cool if he was. I'm not fussed with the changing of his pigment.
But why?
If Marvel is happy with it, cool. If they're expecting pushback and they're like, we chose Keith David for a reason. If this is real, by the way, because it says rumor. If this is real, then cool. I couldn't be bothered about the guy's pigment or his biology, as long as everyone involved chose him and they know why they chose him. A bigger discussion could be had as to why people's pigments are being changed from the original comics to live action. Just like Nick Fury was once Caucasian, apparently he was brown or melanated in the comics before they casted Nick Fury for Nick Fury. I don't know, I don't care. Whatever they do, to each their own, son.
That's right.
If they feel this guy is a great actor and great choice, cool. The only thing I'm personally concerned about is how will you pull off, I guess I was going to say, how will you pull off the transition between Keith David, if this is true? How do you pull off the transition between Keith David and the Lizard Man?
What do you mean by that?
Bruce Banner and Hulk, that's Mark Ruffalo with motion capture. And I think Keith David must be older than Mark Ruffalo, a little bit, right? But I don't remember Keith David recently doing any action movies where he's still nimble and agile. So that means we're going to need a stuntman to replace Keith David when it comes to playing the role of Lizard Man.
What does that have to do with it?
No, he's got a point.
I mean, it's doable, I guess. All we're going to just see is different modulation to his voice, and everything else in terms of physical action will be motion capture of a stuntman, and that's it. Then they have to do the lip syncing. Obviously, they read the same lines. Keith David does his voice in the booth when he's Lizard Man, and then the motion capture stuntman does the same lines. You lip sync the whole thing. Bob's your uncle. I'm assuming that's how easy it's going to be. I mean, I'm surprised as to why they chose Keith David. Though, like, what relation does he have to? Like, how did they reach out to him and he said yes? At this, why now?
I don't know.
Why not before? Why not on a different Spider-Man movie? Why this particular Spider-Man movie? Is this something that's been in the works for a while? Did they want Keith David to be in the Marvel universe for a long time and he was too busy and they finally got him pinned down and said, yes, let's do it? Or it's one of those things where they thought, okay, we're looking for someone. His voice has he has a presence when he talks. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what math they did to come to this conclusion where they thought, okay, Keith would be a great choice for Doc Connors, because again, in the comics, he wasn't brown.
Well, duh.
Unless there's a different comic universe I'm unaware about where originally Doc Connors was brown. But anyway, that's that rumor out of the way. Let me know what you feel about that in the comments. On to the next one, shall we?
I want some more.
The Live remake is reportedly in the works at Universal.
What?
I mentioned this 2 days ago between myself, my brother, my friends, and we were like, yo, this is the one movie I don't want them to do a remake. I don't think they will do it justice. The original is, my goodness, perfection. You ain't lying. Absolute perfection. So I don't know how they're going to do a remake. The remake for The Thing, I enjoyed that remake. The original is cool, but the remake for me felt like that was my original. I don't know, maybe it's the graphics, maybe it's the upgrade in graphics. Aside from the story itself, the upgrade in graphics made it easier to portray that alien creature, and that thing is a dangerous species. That's a dangerous creature, but any little piece of it survives, game over for you. I don't trust Hollywood to do absolute justice to this movie at all. If you said you were doing a TV show, maybe I can't tell you why, but I feel there'll be more time to let it breathe. You know, just like V for Visitors, the original and the remake. I feel you have more room to let the story swell and the twist and then the execution of how you take over from the creatures. But I still don't. This is one thing I want to be left alone. Don't tamper with it because it works. If you want to do a remaster, HD, 4K, yeah, go for it. I feel you can do that. You can do an 8K rendition. You can, high res or high vis or whatever you want to call it. You can spice it up and make it more crispy. And it's funny how I just did a rumor about Keith David playing Doc Connors. Keith David was in this movie and he did a phenomenal job. He and his co-star, I can't remember, it was a wrestler, right? I can't remember his name. Beautiful movie. So I hope this rumor is, it remains a rumor and there's no intention to do a remake of this movie in Hollywood whatsoever. Maybe when I've left this world, they might do it. Until then, please don't tamper with the original. If you want to re-release this in the cinema,
You serious?
yes, that one for sure I will see. Yeah, if you want to do it on IMAX as well, I'm with you. So let me know how you feel about that one in the comments as well. Let me know which one of you has seen the movie They Live. Epic movie. I'm going to do a watch reaction for that on my Patreon very soon. Beautiful movie. You ain't lying. Beautiful freaking movie. And Dark City. Ooh. The Batman Part 2 will lean into horror with a darker mystery.
Willingly? Yes.
Bring it. Darker, whatever you want to do, lock and load, let's get into it. At least this is news and not rumor. Let's get into it. If we're doing Court of Owls, if we're doing more darker stuff, more creepy stuff, maybe some spell casting, some Ra's al Ghul or Raj al Ghul, bring it. I'm ready. I am ready because I'm looking forward to a different kind of Batman. And this is the only thing I'm looking forward to these days, live action wise, from DC. Supergirl, Superman, couldn't give a shit. Even Green Lantern. Aside from that trailer, there's nothing else that's, giving me cause for excitement. Like, yeah, I should be more excited for DC this year and next year. Nah, the Batman, for sure. The first one was beautiful. I've watched that like twice.
Nice.
Let me know in the comments if you're happy with this darker horror feel. That'd be so cool. Woo! What can you bring from the Court of Owls that feels horror-ish?
That's a good question.
Darker, yeah, but horror? To merge the two together, I'm thinking you might need an extra, like a creature that feels like it's like maybe like a vampire. So maybe Man-Bat or Bat. Yeah, maybe Man-Bat would be a character that you could use to add the horror element into it.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I'm excited for this, man. This sounds right up my alley for sure. That's why I said, yeah, bring it, come. Welcome to Derry Season 2 is now officially in the works. Booyah!
You don't understand.
Season 1 was fire.
Yes.
Absolute fire. This is how you do a solid horror story. A solid horror story. No holds barred. No holding back, full on rated R, gore, everything, perfection. This show was awesome. This show, for me, wiped the slate clean of that stupid, incompetent season 5 of Stranger Things.
Damn, son.
This show is excellent. You ain't lying. Season 1 was absolute fire, so I hope season 2 is extra crispy. A sequel to the Lord of the Rings trilogy is now in the works. Why?
That's a good question.
What story could you possibly tell? Is it from the books or is it something that they're just doing on their own volition? Because I enjoy the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I watch it annually. Every year, Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Harry Potter, the whole movies, the whole 9 yards. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited. But aside from that, I don't know who is coming back. I don't know what new members are going to bring in. Are they carrying on from Frodo's story, or what? When you say sequel, how far into the future is it? Or is it carrying on right after Frodo's thing?
Good question.
And as excited as I feel I should be for this news, I don't feel we need it. I want to be excited, but because of Hollywood's pattern of just doing stuff for money and fucking shit up, I'm like, dude, I don't know if we need this, man. If you want to say a new story way outside Frodo's and everyone else's adventure, I'm ready for that. I'm open for a new story in that realm, in that world, in that reality. Let's go for it. Let's I feel you can do it. But because I don't know what's happening, is it the same cast members or half of the cast members and new cast members, or is it totally new cast members? I have no idea. So if you're saying we're revisiting Lord of the Rings universe, for sure. Movie again? Yes, please. No TV show.
But why?
The Ring of Power? Fucking hell. What a fucking annoying show.
Damn, you ain't lying.
The inner me that really loves this franchise is like, this sounds cool, but just don't fuck it up, Hollywood. Yeah?
Get this man shit.
Sicario 3 is in the works right now with Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, and Josh Brolin all returning. That sounds cool. But it says Rumour.
Yes.
I can't remember the second one too well, but I know I definitely enjoyed the first one. So to bring back all three of them, I'm assuming one or two of them wasn't present in the sequel. But the fact that I can't remember the second one is saying something. But this is good. If this turns out to be true, why not? Either way, you're bringing back the OG cast members. The story has to be good. I imagine the budget's going to be bigger because I don't see any of these three actors coming back to reprise their role for the same the same paycheck they got in the first movie. So obviously the cost is going to go up. But as long as you feel you have a solid story to tell and you feel it's going to make sense for the three characters and for the audience to enjoy it, then lock and load. Let's go. Let's lock and load. Let's go for it. As long as it's solid, you're not insulting the intelligence of the audience, and it's compelling, because the first one was really good. Really, really good. Let a brother know as per usual in the comments. You're looking forward to this. If you hope this is real and not a rumor, if you've seen the first one and the second one, let me know.
More?
John Hannah is officially going to return in The Mummy 4. I wanted to actually do a Mummy 4 news before, but since I saw this, I thought, okay, let me add this to the list and then talk about it. I'm excited for The Mummy 4. The third one, sad. You brought in Jet Li and then you spoiled it and you took out Rachel Weisz, or is it because she was busy with a different movie and they were just in a hurry to make the movie? Hollywood, as per usual, being douchebags. The first one, excellent. The second one, mwah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Even when people still mock the whole CGI of The Rock, Scorpion King, I still love the movie-going experience of that franchise. They absolutely let the whole audience down in the third one. So to hear that Brandon Fraser and co are all coming back for the fourth one, including Rachel Weisz, I'm excited. I'm totally excited. I don't know how they're going to do the fourth. I don't know who the villain is going to be. It's going to be the same actor that played Imhotep. I've got personal issues with that because I'm someone who loves my Kemetic tradition and culture. So it's bittersweet for me. But either way, putting that aside, I do love the movie, both 1 and 2. So I'd like to see what adventures they get on this time around in the fourth one. Or should I say the third one? Because to me, in my head, the third one isn't canon. It's just another movie in that universe. And it's a shame that Tom Cruise and co didn't pull off, a good reboot-ish with their version of The Mummy. I feel that could have worked, especially if you're doing the Universal monsters with Jekyll and Hyde and Wolfman and whatnot. I feel they could have pulled it off. I feel if you they should have just taken their time, flesh things out, and then go for it. Especially bringing back the actor who played not Bram Stoker's Dracula, Vlad the Impaler. Yeah, that was a pretty good Dracula movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that Dracula movie. It was fun. It was different. So I was like, okay, well, if you're gonna bring him in, Russell Crowe's Jekyll and Hyde, and then Tom Cruise's whatever character he was playing who fought the mummy, and then bring in the mummy and then Frankenstein. Yeah, I saw potential. But Hollywood just, again, money-driven monsters.
Damn.
Never really enjoyed the original Hellraiser movie or movies. don't even know if I want to do a watch reaction on my Patreon. I'm not a massive fan of horror per se. I mean, I'll watch a good horror like Darkness Falls, The Grudge, The Ring, and other, you know, really good, even OG horror movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Halloween, the usual suspects, you know. But Hellraiser wasn't really my thing. Wishmaster, that was cool. Hellraiser was like, just Pinhead and his crew. I think it was too creepy for me. But maybe this one I might watch. This one, maybe this is the one that will get me to sit down and, you know, pay money at the cinema to see it. But it says at Hulu. So are we getting, this is not, so this is, no, hold on. Hulu, not necessarily Hulu Studios producing. So that means it's going to be on Hulu platform, but as a movie, then yeah. I mean, I can see it working as a TV series, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see who's in it. We'll see what the premise is about. Then maybe I might even do a watch reaction for that one as well. I don't know. A new Jaws film is in the works with Scarlett Johansson. I don't know. This love of sharks is interesting to me. There must be OG fans who love the original Jaws movie, and they're like, dude, don't do this again. Don't tamper with it.
That's right.
This is something that Hollywood will stop doing. When she was ready in Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, or whatever it's called, so it makes sense to take it from there to this. I can see it working.
I don't know.
I already saw Megalodon with Jason Statham, and that was cool. That was alright. But the original Jaws is just a classic. So if you can bring in some of that original element into the movie, then let's go for it. Let's absolutely go for it. All right, then I feel I've got two more. I want to do two more, or one more, and then a little quiz thing. So one more news and then a quiz thing. Michael B. Jordan will star in 6 upcoming movies. So I wonder what's going to happen to him now after the Oscar things. Congratulations to him, by the way. But I've been seeing this trend, or this discussion go around a lot lately, that, you know, people who have won the Oscars tend to go through a drought after winning the Oscar. Some studios don't book them as fast as usual, or they have typical or stereotypical roles. So I don't know if that's a real thing. I did watch 1 or 2 videos, and the way they, you know, put the information together, you could see a pattern forming. So hopefully these movies that have been mentioned still go ahead, especially after his Oscar winning. And hopefully that was just, I don't know, coincidence. Hopefully it's not a real truth for everyone who's won the Oscar so far.
Yes.
We got Thomas Crown Affair. I've not seen the original, and if I have, I've completely forgotten it. Maybe I should watch the original again to see if I like it. Rainbow Six, that sounds cool. That's a first-person shooter game that I haven't played. I'm excited for Rainbow Six and Miami Vice and I'm Legend. I haven't seen any Creed movie yet. I intend to see the Creed movies for sure. There's something about boxing movies. After Rocky, I was like, yeah, I don't want to anymore. It's just something I don't like. I don't know. I think it's the story arc of the main character. It's the highs and lows. It really, the anxiety it causes. You might win this fight, might lose this fight, and then when he wins the fight, there's always someone else to challenge the boxer. So I stepped away from many boxing movies and martial art movies. Well, let me say, like kickboxing sport movies, especially after Kickboxer. I was like, yeah, this is too much. I think it's just that high and low thing. When the hero, you know, maintains, and someone says, oh, this guy is whack, his fighting style is childish, you know, if I was to fight him, I'll show you what a real fighter is. And then he gets beat by that big guy. Then the audience like, oh, you know, it's just that whole journey that the main character goes through. So the Thomas Crown Affair, I don't know, I keep saying Thomas, I guess because the TH is throwing me off. Thomas Crown Affair, I'll watch the original to see, or to get a sense of what they're going to do in the new movie. They might change a few things up, but I'll watch the original to see, just to get a sense of it. Rainbow Six, I'm looking forward to that, especially with Michael B. Jordan, because I love his acting style. So I feel he's going to kick ass in Rainbow Six. I'm Legend 2, dude. I feel he's gonna let rip in that one. He's going to absolutely let rip. And I don't see that he's going to be the villain towards Will Smith's character. That won't make any sense unless Will's character is dead, right? Or are they going to retcon that?
That's a good question.
And if they do, then it only makes sense that they work together in the sequel. It doesn't make sense that you're going to fight each other when you have those those zombies out there. That doesn't make no sense. So I feel it's going to be a tag team against the monsters and whatnot. So Rainbow Six, I Am Legend, Miami Vice for sure. Creed 4, let me watch, you know, the Creed movies first, 1, 2, 3. Then I'll get more excited for 4. Swapped, I'm assuming that sounds like it's animation. I don't know. Even the way the text looks. I mean, you could argue Miami Vice if you didn't know what it was. It looks like a cartoon or TV show. But the way the text is designed for Swapped, that sounds like it's going to be animation. And if so, I feel this might be Michael B. Jordan's first. No, it's not the first time he's done anything voiceover for an animated cartoon or animated motion capture. He did it for one of the episodes of Love, Death and Robots on Netflix. Yeah, I think he did. These are pretty cool movies. Definitely high on my list is Rainbow Six, I Am Legend 2, and Miami Vice. Woo! And after I've seen Creed 1, 2, 3, then I'll add 4 to that list. But for now, the 3 I'm looking forward to. One more time, Rainbow Six, I Am Legend 2, and Miami Vice for Michael B. Jordan. I don't know what Swapped is. So I need to see what it is. I need to see the premise first before I jump on board. These days, Pixar movies or Disney animated movies, I need to see the premise first. And I used to be a massive fan, but again, you know, people just do whatever they want to do to each their own, and then the stories get sour, and I'm like, yeah, you guys are spoiling your own thing, man.
You ain't lying.
Only one gets a new movie every year. So we got the Avengers movie every year, an Avenger movie every year, an Avatar movie every year, a Zootopia movie every year, and a Final Destination movie every year. I'm obviously going for the Avenger movie every year.
Well, duh.
Especially if it's as good as Infinity War or Endgame, then I'm gravy.
Let me explain.
If the quality maintains, you don't dip, you either maintain or you peak, it's going to be an Avenger movie every year. Avatar, incompetent. The story, I'm going to do a separate video for that one. The story.
You don't understand.
The story is dull, mind-numbingly dull.
Damn.
Zootopia is cool. The first one was cool. I haven't even seen the second one yet, but this is out of all this, yeah, Avengers any day, anytime. Final Destination used to be cool, but it became gimmicky, and you know, it is what it is. It happens, but an Avenger movie every year for sure. So let me know in the comments before I dip out of here, peeps. Which one are you picking? An Avatar movie every year, a Zootopia movie every year, a Final Destination movie every year, or an Avengers movie every year?
Nice.
So that's me done, peeps. Let me know your answers in the comment section below. I've of course been your one and only Multipotentialite, Neurodivergent host,
The Kosmic Jedi signing out. Thank you for watching.